Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, the second Monday of the week, and already shit's broken this week. I've been fucking with this thing all morning. I'm gonna end up having to take the whole thing apart again. So that's my afternoon. That's gaming PC is down until further notice. It keeps overheating. It keeps hitting that 90-degree threshold and then throttling down. And I only had this problem with Gray Zone Warfare. It was the only game that really ran my computer like hot. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if my AIO is going out. I don't know if the fans that I just replaced in this thing 6 months ago are going bad. I don't know what's going on. But the CPU is just getting hot as shit. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to take it apart later. I've tried different curves. I've tried changing the amount of power that the CPU is getting. It idles at 60, which is insane, and then it hits 90 as soon as I start playing any games, and it just starts throttling from there. So I don't know. I don't know what happened, but either way, she's going into the shop this afternoon, which is quite the task with the way everything's set up here on my desk. I have to remove my right monitor to get to the machine to unplug everything, because the way that this thing's set up is that all the wires plug in underneath and then it sits on the wires. So I have to gently place it down sideways, unplug everything, take it outside to blow it all out, clean it all out. I'm going to have to dismantle everything. I don't know. It's going to be a lot of work. So that's I gave up and I was like, fuck it. The show must go on. Here we are. So I don't know. Maybe it's a good excuse to do another upgrade. I don't know. With all the money we spent this year, I'm sure that the wife would appreciate if I said, hey, you know what? I spent $600 today replacing the CPU and the motherboard. I'm sure she'd be fucking happy. So we had a lot of, this has been a tough year for us, money-wise. We're really good with money, but we had 4 appliances break down on us within a month of each other. We had 2 cars, issues with 2 different vehicles that fucked us financially in a couple different ways. So it's been a tough year, man. It's been a tough year. And then the prices of everything skyrocket. The wife went to get some steaks for dinner tonight yesterday. And she's like, the price of beef is just insane. Like, what the fuck, man? God can't even get steaks anymore. It's insane. Anyhow, enough complaining. What I break today, just important shit, free. Just that's it. Just the important stuff. Nothing else. Justin Gaming, what's happening, man? Good to see you. Manic, good morning. How are ya? 90 is hot. Yeah, 90 is. I mean, they say that all the research I've done, anything that has the X3D V-cache on it is going to run hot. It's going to run hot just because the way that it's been built. So I expected that when I bought it. That's why I went with water cooling. Because that's never failed me before. And all the other computers that we have water cooling in the house. But it's been a goddamn nightmare trying to keep this thing cool. It's probably because it's in a small form factor PC case. I don't know. But it's hard. It's hard to keep these things cool, man. I need to upgrade my GPU. Yeah, that's on the list too. This video card's about a year and a half old. Actually, I think it's 2 years now. I think we just hit the 2-year threshold. It's overdue. Now it's way overdue. I'll definitely have to replace my GPU by next year. So yeah. Hot shot. Good morning, man. Deanna walked in and the appliances are breaking. Cars are sideways. Dog cheated on you and the truck left you. Never had a truck. Never had a truck. Not a truck guy. I'm a Harley guy. I wish I could ride year round. Which, by the way, we took a trip yesterday because I think I told most of you guys yesterday. My grandma's birthday party was supposed to be on Sunday. Some people got sick, so we had to cancel the damn thing. So the wife and I decided to go give her gift yesterday, which was her actual birthday. 90th birthday. My grandma turned 90 yesterday. Still spry like a 50-year-old. Anyhow, we decided to take the bike out there. So we rode for 15, 20 miles, I think, something like that, to go see her and wish her a happy birthday. And it was a good time. And we had a blast. It was nice. It was our last ride of the season. Very, very nice. It was still pretty warm last night when the sun went down, but now it's cold and rainy and it's 56 degrees and yeah. So at least we had our last hoorah of the summer. So it was a good time. Now I gotta put the bike away for the winter. Wah, wah. I'm gonna leave it out just a little bit longer. I'm hoping that we're gonna have a weird day or two in the next week or two where it gets back up into crazy weather. So then I'll be good to go. So anyhow, that's fair. I'm not much for trucks either, but apparently small and mid-sized trucks are back on the menu here soon. In Michigan, I don't know where you live particularly. In Michigan here, it's truck country. Everybody here has to drive a truck. And then, of course, none of them know how to drive it, and they definitely don't know how to park the fucking things. So I heard a story through my wife that someone that she worked with, they sold their house and got another during this crazy market because the husband couldn't fit his truck in the garage. The garage was too small to fit his truck. That's a bit much. That's a bit much. If you who the fuck's calling me at this hour? If you can't fit your truck in a garage and you have to lose money on a house to buy another house because your truck, I don't know. There's something your priorities are a little fucked up. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's about, but I don't know. I guess I would measure to make sure it would fit in my fucking garage in the first place. I don't know. And how big is this truck? It's got to be extended cab, extended bed, extended hitch. I mean, that's crazy to not fit in your garage. I don't know. Either way. Nice weather today, then it's downhill after today. Yeah, you got our weather from yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was 87 degrees. It was nice and warm. On our way out, we were heading west. So the wind was nuts. The wind was probably blowing this storm in that we're dealing with now. But man, by the time we got to our destination, I felt like I had been beat in the chest with a baseball bat. It was it was windy. Now the way home, nice and calm, just easy going, man. Just us, the road, and the loud ass pipes, man. It was good times. So yeah. 78 out at 10 a.m. And you're down there in Bama. Bama. Hot Shot's down in Bama now too. Wasn't Tennessee, trucks everywhere. Oh yeah. Yeah, part of the course. It's truck country, man. It's you ever, I don't know if you guys watch dealership commercials, but it's always truck month. Every month there is a dealership in our area that's like, it's truck month, guys. Don't forget, it's truck month. It's like, it's always truck month. Always. Every dealer, they just rotate. I'll take April. Now I'll take November. I'll take October. That's the smart one, especially in Michigan because of the hunting season. October 1st. As a matter of fact, I was wondering why there's nobody in town. It's like it's ghost. It's like a ghost country here. It's because all the guys went up north for deer camp. October 1st through November 15th, I think, that's the big hunting season up here. So yeah, it's just me and then a shit ton of women in the area. That's it. I'm not allowed to leave the house from October 1st to November 1st. The wife says, no, you stay home. It's okay. I'll take care of everything. You just stay home. So there you go. My brother rented a place in Pennsylvania where he was working down there, and his VW Atlas had to fold the mirrors in to get into the garage. Some places are just built small. Wow. I mean, the house that the first stick built house that I built or I bought was built in 65, somewhere in that neighborhood. And it had a one-car garage it was finished. It was very, very nice. But when you pulled the vehicle in there, you could barely get out of the car. I mean, it was so close. I mean, there was like this much room between the door and the wall. There was not much room. So you'd have to get out and kind of squeeze suck it in to get. Yeah, we didn't park in there. we didn't. That ended up just being a man cave for the most part. It was just it was my workshop really. But yeah, so yeah, you're right. I mean, some places are just. But you figure in the '60s the cars were huge. How the fuck did they fit them in there then? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, apparently whatever agency couldn't get rid of the fine for volume-based emissions without an act of Congress, but they could set the fine to zero. So now trucks don't have to be stupid big to avoid the fine for emissions. I gotcha. And because of that, apparently the next Supra is getting a V8. There you go. Hot shots down there in the Birmingham area. Free to Escape's in Montgomery. So if you guys are trying to find either one of these gentlemen, just go to the local PD, look for the mug shots of these gentlemen. You'll find them out there. You'll find them. I've been there a couple times. I was running a buddy to Prattville for work for a few months, and then we went down there to transfer my license. The wife wants to head down that way. She wants to look at some areas along the Gulf of Mexico down there. She not quite towards Texas. She wants to stay towards like Alabama, Louisiana area. I told her Louisiana's probably out, but Alabama, and then like maybe the Panhandle there from like Florida. She wants to check out Destin areas and stuff like that. I don't know, because we're still kind of on the fence where we went. Right now we're loving South Carolina, but there are certain things there that we're not too key on. So we have a couple years to figure it out. But I mean that we're looking hard. We're hard looking right now. So we just know we don't want to be here anymore. We're done here. There's nothing else here for us. We're good to go. So we want to get out of this area. I like to go someplace where we don't have to deal with any snow, period. The wife worries that we're going to melt. I told her it'd be fine. She might, but I was born in California, so I'm okay. My DNA tells me I should be fine. There you go. Come to the Gulf Shores with me, man. I'd love to, man. I think I'm one tax bracket underneath you, though, so I'd probably have to be a little further inland. Little further inland. At least one tax bracket lower, I do believe. I don't know. We do all right. I mean, I'm not bragging and I'm not complaining. We're okay. We're okay. But I don't know. Exactly where you are, probably not so much. I could be your pool boy. We'll live a little further inland, and I'll just be your pool boy. How's that sound? I could be the cabana boy. I got to end stream right now because his next response is probably not going to be appropriate for anybody of any age here. So there we go. Oh man. I've been there a couple times. A lot of murder in Montgomery right now. Oh yeah? Prattville's nice. Come to Gulf Shores. My mugshot is Homeland Security, not the local PD. You forgot I mixed with an Arab name. Oh yeah, you're on a list. You're on a list somewhere, brother. We both know that. I'm on a list because I'm quarter Mexican and I have said negative things about Trump publicly. So I'm on a list too. So we're on the same boat. It's cool. When the final wave happens, we're all going to be loaded up on a bus. But that's okay. I'll save you a seat. I'll save you a seat wherever our destination is. Talk to Manny. His Gulf Shores place is real nice. Have you been there? Oh, that's right. Free to Escape was stalking him for a short period of time. He was the guy he was the guy with 6 kids in the minivan sitting out front for a couple hours, just watching. Just watching. Panhandle all day. Okay, Louis. I think you told me that before, that's where it's at. Not Destin itself, but the Panhandle's where you got to be, I guess. If you go Panhandle, Pensacola, Florida, but not so far, and you still feel like you're in the South. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I want to be on the water, but not technically. I mean, I'm technically in the South, but I don't want to be in the South, but I want to be by the water. So it's, there's little pockets of places that that's what we're trying to find. We're trying to find the pocket that we fit in, if that makes sense. Now, the other day, we were taking our dog for a little walk outside. I got to be careful if I say walk. She goes nuts because she knows what that means. So we were taking her around for a walk in the backyard because, we normally take her to the park and go for a while. But if we're too busy, we don't have anything, we have things going on, we'll just walk her around in the backyard for like 15 minutes. But anyhow, the sun was going down and we stopped for a second to watch, the sunset with the dog. And she said, I am going to miss this. When we leave here, I'm going to miss the sunset. I'm like, we're going to have sunrises and sunsets where we go. Like, that's not going to go away. But she's like, no, just the, just the beauty of where we are, over, the big open fields and then tree line and then the sun's going down. And I agree with her. There's a lot of beauty here. It's just, I can't stand the snow. I hate the snow. But as time goes on, it's going to be harder and harder because the wife just keeps like going up the ladder to the point where she's probably going to end up being CEO of this place. By the time we're ready to leave, she'll probably be running the fucking joint, and then I won't be able to get her to leave. So I don't know. I might have to just fly back and forth. Be like, all right, I'll be a snowbird. You stay here. I'll take care of our other place down there next to Mannix. We'll be renting the pool house from Manic, and then I'll just stay there year round, and then she can come down and visit me. I don't know. There's too many ideas, too many things on the plate right now for us to say specifically what we're going to end up doing. We like ideas though. I can always use a bottom. See, there you go. There it is. And there it is. Yes. I called it. There it is. We knew it was happening. We knew it was coming at some point. So, need the daddy shorts? Oh, I got you there, brother. The joke is that, when you become a dad, you get cargo shorts. I have cargo shorts. The other day we took our dog for a walk and the wife was like, I don't have any pockets. Can you hold my phone? Like, sure. And then she's like, can you hold the shit bags, for the dog? Sure. She's like, oh, can you hold my keys? Sure. Can you hold my sunglasses? I'm like, you know what? You're lucky I brought my dad pants with me because I don't have any other place to put this shit, So I have the cargo shorts so I can keep everything for my wife. It used to be for the kids. I can have, suckers in this pocket and I can have, fucking gummy fruit snacks in this pocket over here for them to, and I'm taking care of all this shit. Now I'm just basically a pack mule for my wife. Hold this, put this in your pocket, put this in your pocket. It's like, do they not make any women's clothing with pockets? Or does she intentionally buy them without pockets because she wants me to carry everything? I don't know. It's a conspiracy though. I know that much. It's a conspiracy. I have a theory. 100% randomly search at every airport in the US, baby. Yeah, I'll bet, dude. Panama City has the whitest sands. Panama. Not so much dust. And Pensacola is dope too. I think that's the next spot. I mean, we're 5 minutes from the Bishop International Airport, which used to do big numbers over here. Now it's much smaller. Doesn't do many. It's basically just a quick destination point for all the snowbirds up here. I think all their flights, with the exception of one that goes to Chicago, I think all of them go to Florida, different parts of Florida, and it's for the older folks. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. There, you guys might have heard in the news that there's a large chunk of land here in Michigan that Whitmer and a couple other guys put together to sell to SanDisk, which they were going to be making batteries and capacitors or some shit. They're going to be doing some. There was a mega factory they were building here. Okay, well the deal fell through for reasons. So now there's all this land sitting there for a lot of millions of dollars, and it's huge. It's a huge area. As a matter of fact, they were buying up all the houses that the land was on and demolishing them for this big mega factory. Now it's still for sale, but when I was seeing my grandma yesterday, she was talking about she loves NASCAR. She's a huge NASCAR fan. So I all of a sudden it just popped in my head. I was like, they should put a NASCAR track in this location. That'd be huge for Michigan altogether, but especially this area that has been hit with recession since the 80s when GM pulled out. And this Flint was huge. Flint was a huge area that manufactured all the GM vehicles. And then they pulled out in the 80s and it fucked everything up. And yeah, it's been going downhill since then. If they brought NASCAR to this area, it'd be huge. Then the airport would be on fire again. All the hotels that are about to close because no one comes here anymore, those would be, huge. I don't know why they're not thinking about these things. It's a huge area. Why do we have to just put a manufacturing plant there? Which I mean is great because it would have created a lot of jobs. But NASCAR? I'm not a NASCAR fan. I'm for it. You know, that'd be right around the corner. It'd be huge. It'd be great for us. I just want my property value to go up a little bit before we move. That's really what I'm after. We want to triple our money before we leave here. So right now we've doubled. We've been here for 7 years and the house values have doubled, which is great. But if we can get NASCAR this way, maybe triple the values and we're out of here. That's the idea. Big Alback, good morning, man. Haven't seen you around in a while. How you doing? Wearing cargo shorts now? Of course you are. Fanny pack is nice. Dude, they're coming back. Fanny packs are coming back. I haven't seen my kid in a while. He came back over to have a dinner with us, and he was wearing a fanny pack. I thought it was as a joke, but no. And then my wife was telling me about these cross bags they have now. I guess I never really noticed them. I'm seeing grown-ass men wearing these fucking things. They're like a fanny pack, but with a longer strap that go across your. It's like a man purse that goes across your midsection. I guess I was just blind to it. I wasn't paying attention, but when the wife pointed it out to me, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm seeing grown-ass motherfucking men wearing these things walking down the street. What happened to a wallet? Why do you need a purse? What happened? What is going on here? I don't get it. But yeah, fanny packs are coming back, man. I wish I would have saved mine from the 90s, all the cool colors and shit. I had a bunch when I was a kid, man. I have pictures of me with a fan. When I was a kid, I didn't know any better. You know, my mom dressed me, or at least that's what I tell people. As a single man with no children, it's boot cut and carpenter jeans all day. Raise hell, praise Dale. Dale ain't dead. He's just a lap ahead. Sorry, I heard NASCAR in the spirit took me. I don't know anything about NASCAR. I don't know. I know like 2 or 3 drivers. I mean, they probably died 20 years ago. I don't know any. And my grandma was telling us all these stories, and we're just kind of like, yeah. Oh, that's we're just we're really, she's really into it, so we're really listening to her and everything. And we got home, and my wife says, "Do you know what the name of any of those? Do you know any of those drivers?" I'm like, I have no idea who she was talking about. I have no idea, but I mean, she was so passionate about it. We were listening, So I don't know, some guy named Tony Tony Stewart. I think that Tony Stewart. He killed a guy. Some guy got out of his car in the middle of the track, I guess, and he was pointing his finger at Tony Stewart as he was going 200 miles an hour around the track, and Tony accidentally hit him or something. And I don't know. I was like, oh, that's crazy, man. That's like crazy. When I really got home, who the fuck is Tony Stewart? I have no idea. I don't know. No clue. So we know Dale Earnhardt, right? Yeah, the Intimidator. I know that. And then who's the other guy? Gordon. Chef Gordon? I don't know. Something Gordon. I don't know. I don't know anything about racing. I don't know shit, man. Those cross bags they're massive condoms for the Magnum dongs. That's probably what it is. That's why they sit so high up here. Tony Stewart was the Home Depot car? Oh, so he's Mexican. Fellow Mexican, let's go. Jeff Gordon was a DuPont car? I don't know. I never really watched it. But again, my grandma's really into it. So we made sure all over. We got her little bag of NASCAR goodies that she really enjoyed. So other than that, I don't really know. I barely watch any sports at all. Yesterday I was telling the wife, I was like, well, there should be a football game on or two today if you're interested. We don't really watch sports at all. We kind of keep up with the Lions, but they're kind of they had their shot and then they lost it, so we're kind of back to just whatever. It is what it is. I might watch the Thanksgiving game. I don't know. That's historically a crappy game every year, but it's on. It's while everyone else is feeding their face in the kitchen, I usually walk in here and watch a little bit of the game. Watch the Lions get their ass kicked. Typically how it goes. Thanksgiving is good for 2 things: turkey and the Lions getting their ass kicked. All you need to know is fuck Kyle Busch. Is he from the Busch Beer Company? Is he a mascot or something? I feel like the name, yeah, is he a real person or is he like a mascot? I don't know. I don't know. Again, I don't know anything about racing. I know absolutely nothing. I know Ricky Bobby was probably the best driver in NASCAR ever. He was the GOAT. Other than that, I don't know anything else about racing. He's a real driver. Okay. So he's not from the Busch Light Hall of Fame or anything. He's not like a Busch Light guy. Remember anybody? Well, I mean, the older people remember. Remember Spuds McKenzie? Was it Spuds or Spud? I think it was Spud McKenzie, right? He was the Bud Light dog, right? That's kind of what it sounds like to me. Kyle Busch, he's got to be a guy for Busch Light beer. He's got to be. Have you never seen the all gas no brakes Talladega interview? No. No, sir. Mm-mm. Talladega, is that that's a Ricky Bobby thing, right? Talladega? I don't know what that is. Is that a place? Is that a city? I don't know what Talladega is. Either way, I lost half my audience because I don't know NASCAR. That's fine though. Yeah, see, and then this right here is a perfect example of why I can't be in the South. I can't move to the South because that right there would get me killed. It's like a rite of passage. If I don't know the NASCAR drivers' current standings and shit like that, I'll probably be killed on the spot. So that's why we got to find a good spot where NASCAR knowledge is not mandatory. That's what I'm. Yeah. Talladega is the track here in Alabama. Okay, so it's a track. Got it. Brother, in your free time, you got to watch that. Okay. I don't do NASCAR, but I know the basic. Yeah, it's a car that goes around in circles and make a lot of left turns, right? It's hours of left turns, I think is in part 2, LMAO. Everyone check out the new show on Netflix, The Monster. Yeah, I'm interested to see Charlie Hunnam as a weirdo. Charlie Hunnam to me will always be Jax Teller, a badass that as an actor, he actually said that he was in that role for so long, he actually lost his British accent and had to relearn his accent. That's dedication to the cause right there. But he was also good in the King Arthur movie. Did anyone see that with the Guy Ritchie's King Arthur movie? It was good. I liked it. It didn't do too well. They were supposed to do a series of these movies, but after the first one, they decided to pull the plug on the second and third. But Charlie Hunnam is a really good actor. I've seen him in a handful of different things, but Jax Teller is definitely he's the guy. He's the character. He's the one I always remember him as. But yeah, to see him as a weirdo, a monster, a serial, I think that's going to be pretty badass. We were gonna watch it over the weekend, but we ended up watching the Naked Gun reboot with Liam Neeson. Not bad. No, I don't think Pamela Anderson was a good pick. I don't think she was a very good pick but it wasn't bad. We thoroughly enjoyed it. And the wife, she had never seen the original, so immediately after we watched that one, I had her watch the original with me, and she actually enjoyed that one better. Which I tried telling her from the very beginning, like I'm sure it'll be funny, but there's no way that Liam Neeson's gonna outdo Leslie Nelson. There's just no way. There's just no way. He just does the role better. He just plays the perfect idiot way better than Liam Neeson. College football and NASCAR runs the South. Oh yeah. In Bama for sure. It's creepy for sure. He does it very well. Also, you've seen it? Good movie? Yeah, it came out Friday, didn't it? I think it just dropped. I'll drop a link in your Discord too. It's a roller coaster. And then what was the other thing we watched? Oh, we finally watched the Dark Wolf prequel to The Terminal List. Great show. Wow. It kind of sucks going in knowing how it's going to end already, And I like the story because he basically became what he turned into what he was fighting against, which hopefully it doesn't ruin but I think everyone at this point knows what happens. Great show. I would love to see a spinoff with Mohammed Farouk. That dude was fucking awesome. Great. And I've seen this actor before in other shows, in other movies and stuff. And he was at his peak in this show. I would love to see him do his own thing, go back to the ISF and maybe run his own little squad of Iraqi soldiers doing missions. I don't know. There's so many different ways that they can go with it. Tom Hollander, he needs his own show now. I don't know. It was great. I need to put that in Discord for you guys, but I know Manic's already seen it. I think a handful of you guys already watched it, but Terminalist, The Dark Wolf, fucking great. I think there's 6 episodes or a little over an hour long, right around an hour somewhere in there. Great show. We need more of that. I need more of that operator shit. I love the Six, SEAL Team, that show there. I love those shows. I love seeing these badass operators getting the job done. Oh, TV show, only watched the first episode so far. Oh, the Monster is a TV show? I thought it was a movie. Oh, so it's a show? Okay. I've seen Dark Wolf. Yeah, put it on your list. There's a lot of shows that we missed, but now that because of summer, we watch things, but we don't watch a lot of stuff. In the wintertime when we're stuck indoors and we watch a lot of stuff. We have a list, a long laundry list of all the shows we need to catch up on. But there was, what was the other one that just recently came out? Tulsa King's back out again on Paramount Plus. We're gonna wait for all the episodes to drop and then binge that. We got Mayor of Kingston coming out, season 3 or 4 now. Shit, we got to be I think season 4 now. Wow. All the Taylor Sheridan shows, with the exception of Yellowstone. My wife watched that. She didn't really care for it too much. She did see it through. I'm not interested in Yellowstone. Not my cup of tea, but like Lioness, Mayor of Kingston, Tulsa King, those are all great shows I really, really like. Landman was okay. Land was, I don't know. It seemed like it was more propaganda than it was storyline. It was a lot of crazy stuff, but I don't know. It was okay. I like Billy Bob. Good actor. Shifting Gears is a good watch with Tim Allen. What is that on? Is that on Hulu or? Just finished Prison Break last night, so that might be next. Prison Break? Whoa, there you go. That's a step back in time. The wife and I actually looked into that. We were thinking about starting that at some point, but there's just too many shows. There's just too much stuff out there to watch. But between all the streaming stuff that's out there, there's just too much content, I think. You drown in it. Unless you keep a list of what you're going to watch, you're always going to get sidetracked with new stuff. But I mean, it's, you get what you pay for. So a lot of content. I believe Hulu. Okay. Not a big Tim Allen fan. His stand-up was cool back in the day. Home Improvement was a great show. I watched the hell out of that, but he got a little weird. As he got older, he got a little weird. Then he started doing the Santa Claus movies, and that's all he did for like 20 years was the Santa Claus movies. And then he went back to sitcoms, and they kind of got a little weird. Didn't he do one called like the Last Man Standing or something like that, where he owned like a Cabela's? I don't know. He was a little off. He's a little off now. I don't know. He needs to go back to the humor of like the Home Improvement, where he was just a funny idiot. Like he was a well-respected goofball. That I love that about him. Cause he was like a Bob Vila, but like a very unlucky Bob Vila. That's what was great about him. He kind of knew what he was talking about. He talked a big game, and then when it came time to play the game, he'd always fail. That was the best. I always go for the shows that don't have seasons coming out, so I can binge without having to wait. There you go. I'd only watched part of it when it aired. Wolfie had never seen it. Last Man Standing had like 8 seasons. Was that the one though? Was that the one where he was like he had a sporting goods store or something like that? I don't know. I mean he's Buzz Lightyear to me. Anywho, What else is going on? Let's see. For those that have a functioning gaming PC, I think the Exoborn playtest ends tonight. So if you're in that and you've been playing, you might want to get in there and wrap that up. I haven't played in a few days. I got stuck. I got stuck in a campaign mission, and I couldn't get past it. I even reached out to people in the playtest. They couldn't figure it out. I filed a thing with the devs, with Shark Mob. No response. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know if they're just all on vacation or what, but I've been stuck on this stupid thing for a week and I can't figure out. So I just moved on. I just said, fuck it. I'll see you in the next play test. Bye. But they did appreciate a lot of the feedback that I gave them, and hopefully that shapes things up the way that they should. Skate Season 1 drops today. Nice. You were out of your depth with NASCAR. I'm the same with TV. I got you. We don't watch TV. We watch a lot of movies and some shows, but again, like when the weather's nice, we're not really in front of the TV at all. Yeah. He had that outdoor show. Okay, so I remember a little bit of it. I remember when it came out and everything, but again, we don't really see a lot of commercials, so it's all hearsay. If I'm scrolling on social, sometimes it'll have, hey, a new show coming out, or new season of the show coming out, and I'm like, oh, cool, never heard of that show. Maybe we'll look into it. But we don't really see commercials for anything anymore, unless we go out to eat, or when we go to the movie theater. If we go pay to go watch a movie, then we're forced to watch commercials. I don't know how that works. I don't know what that's all about. We're paying, between concessions and the movies, we're dropping, $40, $50 to go see a movie, and we have to watch 20 minutes of commercials before the movie starts. I think that's bad practice. That's bad practice, man. I don't like it. I'm watching Strawberry Shortcake Trans Warrior She/Her on Netflix. A lot of depth. I don't watch any, and unless you count this in Discord, no social media either. That's good. That's a good thing. That's a very, very good thing. It's best to stay off those things. It's just all division nowadays anyhow. I walked into somebody's house recently, and it was just Fox News playing the whole time we were there. Just Fox News the whole time. Like, can we turn the TV off so we can just like chat? Can we please watch it when we leave? I tried Black Ops 7. It gives me a little Blackout vibe. I hope Treyarch does Warzone. So Blackout is coming in some way or another, in some shape or form. Did they give us a time frame? They just teased it. There's no, I put something in Discord for you guys as well. It's just a lot of speculation. Is it going to be a return to the same map on a new engine? Is it going to be the gameplay, as in like, you're going to drop with nothing and you're going to have to find weapons and attachments and all that? Because that's basically why Blackout was so great, is because it was very close to PUBG in that regard. You didn't drop with a pistol. You weren't pulling your chute and free falling and shooting people in the air. You didn't land and shoot people with your pistol. You know what I'm saying? You had to start from scratch, 0 to hero all day long. And I really enjoyed the map. It was much smaller than PUBG, but for that type of game, that map was incredible. And I would love to see that, that map return in some way or another. But there is a Blackout game type or game mode or something coming out, probably early next year. But they didn't tell us anything other than there's going to be a return to Blackout. So what that means, I don't know. I mean, remember we were all talking about Black Ops or Battlefield 6 Battle Royale, and they said that the fire was insta death. Insta death. That's what they call it, right? Well, we found out it's not insta death. So what they say is typically not what ends up being truth, right? So I don't know exactly what it's going to be. So we're just going to have to hang out and see what happens. But it would be great if they took that whole gameplay, that map, and the way that Blackout actually ran. That might be interesting. I'm not saying that I would come back, but I would probably play it just to see, you know, how close it is to Blackout. But that would be a lot of fun. I think that'd be pretty badass. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. I track my TV viewing with a website so we remember what we want to watch. That's a good idea. Fox News and CNN polar opposites, king of fuckery. Yeah, I mean, I think having a news channel on in the background all day, every day is not good. Not good. Because like my brother said, and my son actually said this, is that it doesn't matter. All news outlets, when it's 24/7 news, it's all propaganda. It's always contorted and twisted. And even if they're just reporting the news, because a lot of them, you got to remember, it's 24/7 news, they have to fill those slots. So a lot of the news programs are all opinion shows. There's a lot of opinion shows. So they'll give you the story, but then they give their twist and their opinion on it. The problem is that people that watch that 24/7, they start agreeing with the opinions of other people, and they don't look at both sides of they only look at that one opinion from that one person. And then that becomes that creates problems, if that makes sense. I don't know. So like, what can we go back to just watching news at night? The 6 o'clock news, the 9 o'clock news, 10 o'clock news. Can we just go back to a news program that's like an hour or two long, gives you the news for the day, and we all move on? The 24-hour news cycle is not a good thing. I don't think it's a very good thing. I don't know. And yeah. Got to do a lot of fist fights on Blackout. Yes. Yes. As soon as you landed, especially at the oil refinery, where everyone was trying to get into the open up the doors to go down below into it was a lot of this. I miss that game. I really do. Fox News, CNN, ABC, Sky News, all terrible. I mean, it's just all nonsense, man. Yeah, they said they're bringing back the map. Okay, so they are. Okay, so that's good. That's good. So that's a good, but is it going to just be Warzone on a Blackout map? That's what kind of concerns me. If they're just going to bring back the map, then just say Blackout map returns instead of the return of Blackout, because to me, that means everything is going to be like it was in Blackout. But again, insta-death is not insta-death. There's a timer, and there's like a 2 or 3 second timer. That's not insta-death. Insta-death to me is if you touch it, you're dead. That's it. That's insta-death to me. I don't know. Maybe the words are maybe lost in translation, but I think they speak English too. So I don't know. I don't know how that works out. Manic Nomad could fill a slot. I'm not much for BR, but I wouldn't be. But too much stock. Put too much stock in the BFBR. Frostbite is notoriously bad for menu UI stuff. That's why Firestorm felt so clunky for inventory management. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to give it a try. I mean, I tried all the other ones. I've tried Fortnite, didn't like it. I tried Apex Legends, didn't like it. I've tried Warzone, didn't like it. You know, I'll try any BR that comes out. I'll try anything, really. I'll play anything. I mean, I've proven that to you guys over the last 2 years that I've been trying to find another game to play on a daily basis. But I'm not really getting my hopes up either. I'm not buying the game. Is anyone here day one player? And isn't if you pre-ordered it or don't you have early access to the game to Battlefield 6 today or tomorrow? Isn't that how it goes? I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to it. I'm not really interested in Battlefield 6. I'm going to play, the free to play BR when it comes out on the 28th, right at the end of the month here. 20 days from now, something like that. But I'm not interested in Battlefield 6 at all. So I don't know. Who here is getting the game though? Who's going to be a day one player? And will you give us a review when you finally get to play the big maps that the big maps are coming? I think that it got put up against Call of Duty, not only because, it's been a few years since we've had a really good Battlefield, but because the beta basically put themselves in the Call of Duty arena because they were only putting us in the small maps. So, I mean, of course, it's going to be put up against Call of Duty for that reason. If they would have given us the big maps to play, I don't think it would have been as much. But because they forced us to play these little maps, because, you know, whatever, they had their reasons, whatever. I think that kind of played a key role in where they stand right now. I hate that I have to rely on any news network for live briefing. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the live stuff, that's fine. I mean, it's again, when you have to fill that time, you can't just report the same stuff over and over and over and over and over all day long, which, you know, a lot of them do. So there's a lot of opinion shows. There's a lot of, you know, like Hannity is a big one, right? And it tells you right there, this is opinion show on a news program. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt, whatever. But people, they buy into that. And then whatever that person says is truth, right? But if it's their opinion and they're just giving an opinion on something, people twist it into this is what's happening. And I see that a lot, especially with the older generation. They get bamboozled a lot, especially with AI. I can't even tell you how many times I've had someone ask me, is this real? And I have to look at it and go, that is not real. That's not real. But it's alarming that it's hard to tell what's real and what's not anymore. You know, what's truth and what's alternative fact. It's a very scary landscape out there for people. God, I missed news too at 5 p.m. Fucking core memory unlocked. And then Free to Escape just referred to a Nomad as a sweetie. So there you go, Manic. You are his sweetie. So nobody's going to be playing Battlefield. Has anyone been playing the Call of Duty beta? I'll touch on this briefly. I don't give a shit. I mean, I do if you guys are. I personally don't care about Black Ops. I don't care about Call of Duty anymore. I'm over it. That's, you know, it is what it is. But it's kind of hard to avoid. No matter where I am, no matter what I'm reading, they always slip in some Call of Duty shit of some sort. So what I'm hearing right now is that the Black Ops 7 is basically Black Ops 6, but now we have wall jumping or something. And Omni movement's been slightly improved, but it's basically the exact same game as it was last year, which seems to be the thing. Every year it's pretty much the same thing. People always say it's just new DLC being released for the game from previous years. But again, that's part of the course for Call of Duty. That's what they do. So I don't know. I don't know. This is just what I'm hearing. Apparently, people are excited that they got rid of the skill-based matchmaking. But I think once that goes away, people are going to realize that was actually there to help them. I don't know how they got so bastardized. Skill-based matchmaking that puts you with players of your own skill level. And I know that there's ways to exploit it. You can exploit anything out there. But if they take away skill-based matchmaking and you're put into lobbies with players that are, way above your skill level all the time, I think it's going to be everyone's cheating. Everyone's cheating. Oh, it must be a streamer because they all cheat. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how you're going to make those people happy, because now they're just going to be put in with the higher tier people all the time. And then everyone's going to either be cheating or this game is broken, or I don't know. It's become such a dirty word, SBMM, which sounds like something else. I know. Something Manic can tell us about. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about that? Skill-based matchmaking in general, not just for Call of Duty. You guys think it's a good thing? I think it's a great thing. Again, you get put into the lobbies with people that are at your skill level. So it balances the game out. Again, I know that there are people that can exploit it, but they're a small percentage of people. Just like anybody that exploits anything, it's usually a small group of people. It's not this huge majority, that's blown out of proportion. What do you guys think? Not a both. COD is going the way of the dodo bird. I know what that was. I don't know. We say this every year, and every year I plead with people. If you guys aren't happy with the Call of Duty, stop buying it. All it takes is 1 year with record low sales, and they will start to listen to the 99% of people that buy the game, not the 1%ers that are usually given the game, that play the game differently than the rest of us because, you know, they're the pro players. I don't know. That's the only way you're going to get them to listen to you is stop buying the fucking game and voice your concerns. We vote with our wallets, guys. Which is the other question. Isn't it I heard that Call of Duty is not going to Game Pass this year. Is that right? And if you don't have Ultimate, you don't get it at all, but if you have Ultimate, you get it within the first year. Is there any truth to that? Because I also heard that anybody that's in Game Pass had access to the early access closed beta, but I couldn't find it anywhere. And I don't know if any of you guys, was anybody on Game Pass get into the early access part of it? I was looking just to see. I was curious to see if it's actually. I didn't see anything. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe. If it's on the internet, I have to check it. It's like 16 different places to verify. I'm not buying either, but I am playing the free version. You mean like Warzone? Or is there a free version of the game? And all BF needs to do is not be COD at this point. I agree. It needs to not be COD, and it needs to not be Battlefield 2042. Those are two things that it does not need to be. I like the whole idea that they're going to go back to Battlefield 3, like that kind of like that type of gameplay, because that was really my favorite. Hardline had the best campaign, bar none. Hardline had the best campaign that I think a lot of people missed out on. It was so good, so good. Multiplayer was okay. Battlefield 3 is still to this day my favorite Battlefield, followed up by 2. 2 is a close second. But 2042 is just, oh God, it's terrible. Just terrible. I don't mind the SBM minus the exploitation, but do you remember when I was discovered that Modern Warfare 2019 would put you in lower skill lobbies against people using a weapon you buy a blueprint of? Is it because the weapon was overpowered? So that's how they balanced it? Is that the lower tier players with a better weapon equals you? Is that how it was? I don't remember any of that. I wasn't really into Modern Warfare 2019. At that point, I was still, we were wrapping up Blackout, because Blackout had that lasted about a year and a half before it completely fell off the map. So I wasn't really interested in that because I was still playing Blackout and PUBG. I mean, PUBG was still pretty much king at the time. So I don't really get into Modern Warfare. Also because I just, I'm not a big fan of reboots. I am and I'm not, I guess. I don't know. I think COD Black Ops 7 is a desperate failure in all ways. Gameplay, weapon design, lethal tactics. I'm not excited. Yeah, I'm not either. Warzone. Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there, brother. I see what you're saying. Battlefield 6 BR. I'm definitely going to be playing that. On the Game Pass stuff, all I know is Activision lost like $380 million to Black Ops 6 being day one Game Pass. Yeah, I did see that they were saying that. I don't know how they lost it, though. That was the incentive. That was the fucking incentive, right? You pay for Game Pass, and now you're going to get day one Call of Duty. So I don't know why they'd even put that out there. For sympathy? Or do they put it out there because they're going to pull the next Call of Duty from Game Pass and say, if you want to play it, you got to buy it? There's only two reasons why you'd even put that information out there. Otherwise, you just keep it internally, you learn your lesson, you move on. But for them to advertise that tells me one of two things. Hardline had a good campaign. Multiplayer felt lacking due to lacking weapon diversity. It was also just it was different just because you were playing cops and robbers in America, right? So like the maps were all like city. There were some like the Dust Bowl that when you were out in the desert a little bit, but it wasn't your typical battlefield because we weren't fighting on foreign land. And you were cops. You weren't military personnel. You were cops with cool gadgets. So I don't know. Multiplayer. I mean, it had its fun. The one where you were in the car, that was like that was the hard point, was the car, and the whole idea was to just stay on the run. That was awesome. I was always the driver, and I was always playing Ted Nugent, blaring Ted Nugent as I'm driving around trying to avoid all the gunfire. That was fun. That was a lot. Or unlocking the couch on Dust Bowl and driving around on the couch. That was fun. But I didn't put a lot of time into it. I did the fun stuff, played the campaign, and moved on. So let's say you bought an MP7 blueprint. The game would place you against players that prefer using the MP7, but at a lower skill than you. It made lower skill people think the BP was busted and buy it. Got it. Well, that doesn't surprise me any. I think that they're that at this point they're very predatory. They have a lot of predatory practices, which we see with the microtransactions and things like that. And that doesn't surprise me at all. How can we manipulate the game so people spend more money? That makes entire sense to me. I think the best Battlefield campaign was probably Battlefield 1 or 5. I thought the start of the war stories was cool. I'm with you. I do. I think the war stories were very, very cool. Sad. There was a lot of them that were they're the endings and stuff were kind of sad, but I like those, and they look good too, especially on console at the time. Battlefield 1 was amazing looking. It was gorgeous. Like, how are we pumping these graphics out of this console, And you still go back and play it today, and you're like, wow, that was pretty advanced at the time. Wild. So I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't really care about Call of Duty. Again, if it's on Game Pass, I will play the campaign, because I always play the campaigns. Call of Duty campaigns aren't bad. Just the multiplayer is just, eh. The German war story for 5 ends depressing as hell. Yeah. Exactly. It hits you right in the feels, man. Right in the feels. I'm with you. So for me, where's my list? Is it here? Okay, I have something else I got to put on here too. So we know that. Well, I'm gonna write this down before I forget. Okay, so we have Battlefield 6 coming out on the 10th, 3 days from now. Supposedly, from what I'm understanding, is that if you bought the big package or something, if you bought the Extreme Ultimate Edition or something like that, somehow you get early access to the game 2 days in advance. So I think tomorrow is when you're going to start seeing a lot of Battlefield 6 streams going on, or maybe it's just for the partners and their pros or whatever. I don't know, but I think tomorrow you're going to start seeing those streams going on. On the 10th, we have Little Nightmares 3, which I'm excited about. So that game's coming out, like it's right around the corner. Yeah, I'll be playing the hell out of that game. Arc Raiders comes out on October 30th. Is anybody else here watching that game? I've been keeping a close eye on it. I'm slowly being pushed out of that camp, but that's going to be a big one for extraction shooters. I don't know how many people again are interested in that, but that's coming out. PUBG, the updated PUBG comes out November 13th. We have Jackbox 11 coming out next week, I do believe. The wife and I are excited about that. Same with the kids. And then Reaper Actual. Louis asked me about this yesterday. Reaper Actual is another massive MMO FPS extraction shooter type game. I still don't quite understand exactly what it is, because it also has base building elements, but the alpha starts tomorrow, and I'm hoping that I'm going to get an email later today so I can preload it and everything. But if there's no NDA, I want to stream that for you guys. That we're going to be playing that and trying to figure out exactly what that game is. That's another one that's been on my radar for a while, but again, I'm not getting a clear picture of what the game actually is. I know it's an FPS. Other than that, it's kind of like, it's weird. I don't know. So we'll figure that out. I think everything right now points to next year being a really good year for games. We have 007 Breaking Light coming out, or First Light coming out on March 27th. That's the one game I am looking forward to next year. That's the big one for me, is the 007 game. We've been waiting 5 years for this thing. Very, very excited about that. And then they recently announced Hell Let Loose Vietnam, which I am absolutely going to be buying that game as well. I don't know when that one comes out. I think it comes out right around the same time, March or April. So for me, there's a lot of good shit coming out, but we have to wait until next year. We have, what do we have? The Outer Worlds. That one's going to be another one coming out this. Yeah, there we go. October 29th. That's at the end of the month as well. I think that's it that we're aware of. So we have 1 or 2 more games coming out this year if you're part of Game Pass that are kind of sound interesting. But next year, I am fucking stoked for these 2 games. Hell Let Loose is going to be probably my go-to daily driver for multiplayer games. And then 007 is going to be my campaign game that I'm going to be playing over and over and over again, like I've been doing with Hitman for the last 8 years. Yeah. So a lot of good stuff coming up. Harm's Way Fresh, good morning. What's going on, man? How you doing? We're talking about just pretty much random shit right now. My PC, my gaming PC took a shit this morning. Really, it started yesterday, so I have to tear that thing apart this afternoon, try to figure out what's going on with it. And yeah, that's it. We're just kind of just talking about everything that's going on: movies, shows, games. This week, obviously, the big thing is Battlefield 6 and the continuation of the Black Ops 7 beta. So I'm just kind of asking opinions. What do you guys think? Is anyone playing these things? Anyone looking forward to these games? I don't know. Nah, I really don't keep up with too many releases nowadays. I just stick to a few staple games. Did pick up Elite Dangerous for PC, so playing that again. Otherwise, it's War Thunder, Stalker, Gamma, and Bannerlord. Vietnam seems interesting, though. Heard they plan on balancing mobility by giving GIs helicopters and Vietnamese with the ability to construct tunnel networks. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Either way, I love Hell Let Loose. I think it's a great game. It's hard. It's one of those games that's very hard to play unless you're playing with a fun group of people you happen to just be, paired up with when you go play, or you go in with your own squad. The last couple of times I played the game, it wasn't the best. It's hard to get into. Like, the best, hands down, the best server is Hot Dog 7. It's hard as fuck to get in there because so many people are playing it. No one wants to get out. A lot of fun in there, but if you're a newer player that run into veteran players, a lot of them are dicks. And they're not very friendly. They're not nice to you. They're gonna shame you and tell you to go kill yourself, whatever. It's kind of shitty. But if you go to the right server and you run into the right people, you will have a very fun experience. But it seems like the last couple times I have not been able to get into Hot Dog 7. I have to go to some random server and they're all just fucking pricks. So I ended up just uninstalling the game, and maybe we'll go back later. We'll see what happens. I'm waiting for Battlefield 6, and I just grabbed Seafarer. Nice. Hell Let Loose is wonderful when the teamwork is there. I agree, 100%. Fantastic game. Fantastic game. Scary. I mean, it's one of those, constant butt clenchers. When you have to cross an open field and you hear a ding, ding, ding going on around you, you just know you're next, and you're like bobbing and weaving, and Barry Sanders out there, and you're like, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. Just running with your eyes closed, and then ding. It's such a nerve-wracking game, because most of the games that are out there that people play, like Call of Duty, their TTK is high. You have armor and shit like that. You could Hell Let Loose is typically a one-shot game. If you get damaged and you have the ability to bandage up, you're on borrowed time, my friend. You're on borrowed time, because the next shot is going to be lethal. So there's not many games out there like that, where everything's a one shot. Again, Call of Duty, you can get, shot 1 million times, just play back up, and then, it's back and forth, hit marker, hit marker, hit marker, hit marker, These games, some of these games out here are insane. And then you go play like Gray Zone Warfare. Some of the hardest AI I think I've ever played against. Ever. The most unfair AI too. and that's another reason why I love that game. The gunplay, the guns themselves are awesome. Just the whole idea of just an open world sandbox to go fuck around in. So I think I refer to Gray Zone is like a military mil sim, like an extreme mil sim, like Far Cry. But Breakpoint, the game I've been playing the last few days, that is more of a mil sim Far Cry. That really is. I really like. I'm really liking Breakpoint. So it hurts my soul that I can't play it today. Hopefully I can boot it up and play it tomorrow. We'll see. But again, I had to take my whole computer apart and clean it all out and figure things out. I just put new thermal paste on it like 6 months ago. I might have to do that again. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but she keeps getting over the 90-degree threshold, and that's not good. I don't want to burn this fucker out just yet. I gotta keep it around for another 6 months before I can, build a new PC. Got to get through Christmas. If I can get through Christmas, we're good to go. So, other than that, guys, I think that's it, man. I don't have a whole lot going on. Yeah, new shows out there, new movies, new games coming out. The weather is starting to turn. I think we're done now. I mean, today is going to be a pretty chilly one. The rest of the week, what are we looking at here? Oh yeah, we're done. 61 today, 58. It's going to be in the 50s tomorrow, Thursday, Friday up to 65. Sunday will 69, giggity. Next week we're going to maybe touch 70 degrees. So yeah, it's the weather is against us, my friends. It's coming to a town near you. It's super fulfilling when you perform well, regardless of position. Doesn't matter if you're just a support, tank crew, recon, or playing artillery. Just super fulfilling to get kills because it feels so substantial. No freebies. Yeah, I agree. Even if you don't get any kills, and you've been the whole time you've been constructing. I can't remember their names. You're behind the enemy line, or you're behind lines, like basically supporting everyone that's on the front lines, or you're driving supplies around, behind the lines and things like that. Even if you don't get any kills, but you've been helping out the entire time, you still feel like you have accomplished something. That's why I like that they don't focus so much on KD ratio in that game. I know you can look it up, and there's ways, but I like that they don't really advertise it, right? Because it's a cooperative game. And they don't want people out there, Ramboing shit so that they have a higher KD. They want everybody working together as God intended. And that's what I love about it. You don't have these rogue, well, I mean, you do, but I mean, you don't have typically rogue guys that are running around destroying everybody. Any more information about Subnautica 2? Crafton says you don't. So there you go. That's what you get. Crafton says, no, not for you. No soup. No soup for you, sir. Miss me with that reckless proud owner of USS Fuck the Ocean. There you go. Ethical. You can take your shit elsewhere. Your mom needs cheap viewers on her OnlyFans page, so maybe she can help you. Get on out of here. Yeah, there you go. He's on out of. Get on out of here. Take your ethical nonsense elsewhere. We don't need it here. We're all stocked up here. Thank you. No, whenever it rains, I don't know. There's no thunder. I haven't heard any thunder or any lightning or anything, just rain. My dog is scared shitless of storms at all. But like, we're just getting some light rain today, and she will not leave my side. She is scared shitless. She hates water, I guess. I need to just toss her in a pool sometime. So here you go. Overcome your fears. Swim, dog, swim. I don't know what it is. She just does not like water. So anyhow. Don't have any games to play. Don't have anything else to do. Yeah, I don't know. What else you guys want to talk about? What else are we talking about, guys? I have nothing. For once. For once, I have nothing to say, which is odd. Yeet. All right. Well, I will be back in a second. I'm gonna go grab some more coffee, hit the restroom, and then when we come back, we'll talk about something else. We'll talk about something until it's time for me to tear this computer apart. I'll be right back. Oh, I'm back with some coffee. Feel lighter too. A little lighter on my feet. Mark Calabini's out of reasons to run his mouth. I got nothing, man. I didn't even see anything in the news this morning. I just saw something now. We're going to touch on this here in a second. But I'm not seeing, there's no gaming news. There's nothing really happening right now. It's just kind of blah, you know? There's more politics. We can talk that. We can talk more politics, but we got to have a really good reason to do that, I think. And there's not a whole lot in the, well, I shouldn't say anything. I'm just not going to say anything at all. There's nothing I want to talk about politically today. Thought we were playing Ghost Recon today. We were going to, but I don't know if you were here this morning, right off the bat. I'm having fucking, that's why I was so goddamn late again today, is because my gaming PC is overheating. My CPU's hit 90 plus degrees, which is, you know, it runs hot. I get that, but it shouldn't. It's usually just under, it's 80, 85, somewhere in that neighborhood. This fucker's hitting 90 degrees and throttling. So I have to tear this fucker apart now and try to figure out what's going on. I might have another dead fan. I don't know what's going on. But I'm not really happy. I bought a Fantex AIO, and I'm not very happy with it. It's not, it does, I feel like I can get a better one out there. And this was highly recommended, this and that. The fans started clicking. I tried to get them to give me new fans or, you know, whatever, because it was still under warranty. They won't respond to me. They have the worst customer service, right up there with Fourth Wall. Fourth Wall by far is probably the worst, but they're just terrible. Just absolutely terrible. So I think I'm going to have to buy a new AIO, and then maybe, I don't know, stick this one on my stream PC, because I have a 5600X on that, and that fucker never goes over 60 degrees. That's on air. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen yet, but so no games today, unfortunately. I mean, I can fire up Hitman, I guess. I don't know. My console's still plugged in. I don't I don't know. I'll DM you the link after stream. He broke his little PC. Yes, I broke my little PC. Throw a foot pick. I think I'm going to call it and try to get a nap in. Couldn't sleep at all last night. I understand. I'm about to call it myself. I got to get this thing torn apart. And I'm running out of things to talk about. We're going to talk about one more thing here. Manic Nomad with the 10 gifted subs. Holy shit. I don't know. I'm sorry. I missed that. Holy shit. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. That is awesome, man. Especially for a short day like this. Just, thank you, man, for keeping the hype going here. Okay, so what I just saw here is, you guys remember a little game called Marathon? Bungie's trying to reboot their Marathon series, which I'm all for, because Marathon, again, was one of the greatest FPSs I've ever played. I think it was my very first, I think it was the very first FPS I ever played. And it was awesome. I loved the game. So they've been trying to bring it back in the form of an extraction shooter. Months and months and months ago, they actually ran a very, very closed test for just streamers and people that had big followings, which I think was one of the worst things they could have done. And then they put it up against Arc Raiders, and Arc Raiders ended up being like the game. People were like all about it. And when they put them side by side, I don't know why they would do that, but Marathon ended up being the shitty version of an extraction shooter, where Arc Raiders was like just the shit. People were loving that. So, and then if you guys remember correctly, there was something with, they were plagiarizing other people's artwork, and someone had said something, and they found something in the game that was kind of irritating. I don't know. So basically they said, we're going to delay it indefinitely. Well, now they just came out this morning and they announced that it's back. It's back, and it's better than ever. They're going to have another closed test towards the end of the month, between October 22nd and October 27th. Don't expect to get in that, because again, historically, Bungie only utilizes the streamers with the big numbers. So it's very biased. It's a very biased test, but it's good to see that they're back at it again. I would love for Marathon to drop in one form or another. I don't think it needs to be an extraction shooter. I would love to see like them take the Destiny and Halo and then make another Marathon, which, if you guys know Marathon was a precursor to Halo. Really, if it wasn't for Marathon, we wouldn't have had Halo at all. So Marathon deserves a reboot of some sort, but I don't know if it needs to be an extraction shooter. I think there's probably enough of those already, and with more coming out, I think they would have been better off just doing like maybe an MMO FPS or something. So I don't know, but it's interesting to see that that's back in play again. I probably would have kept it a secret and spent a year retooling everything and then showing it off again maybe next summer. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Was anybody following that? Is anybody even interested in Marathon? I know Subnuke was, but he's not really around anymore. So I can't say that one. Okay. Yeah, it's Marathon was a trilogy of FPSs in the early mid 90s. I think the only way you could play it was only available on Macintosh PCs, which I had. I had a Macintosh. They would be before Apple computer. Before I had my first PC, we had an Apple, and it was cool at the time. I was kind of irritated because all the cool games were on PC. PC was where it was at, right? You either had Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, or a gaming PC, I guess at the time. So when we got this Apple at the time, I was kind of disappointed, but then we started seeing some of these games come out, and it seemed like Apple had the better machine and the better games. They eventually got Doom, but Marathon was their shooter. And it was awesome. It was a great game, cool as shit. And a lot of the weapons and a lot of the stuff that came, that was Bungie's like one of their first games. But later, fast forward almost 10 years, when they were making Halo, a lot of the guns transferred over from Marathon. So just a little history there for you guys. I'm a video game historian, if you didn't already know. So it deserves to be in the gaming community. It deserves a reboot of some sort. But I don't know if everyone wants to jump on this extraction shooter bandwagon, which I know everyone did with the BRs, and BRs are still coming out. But I don't think everything needs to be an extraction shooter just because that's what the trend is. I think we need more just straight up FPS games. And I want to see more MMO FPS games like Gray Zone. I think there's a market there for that. I think that a lot of companies are missing the mark. But whatever. Extraction shooters are the end thing right now. That's where it's at. Manic Nomad keeping the hype train alive. Thank you, man. I appreciate you again. Love you, bro. He just wants me to be his cabana boy. That's what it is. He wants me to come down there and work on his pool all day. That's what it is. He's trying to groom me. I mean, enlist me. He's trying to enlist me. That's what it is. That explains it. Born in 97. Yeah. Okay. So you were. Durandal might have come out at that point. Let's see. Let's see. What was the original release of the Marathon games? I think it was 94, 96, and 98, maybe? Marathon games. There we go. Okay. So, original one came out in 94. December 21st in 94. The second one came out in... Durandal was the second one, and then Infinity was the third. Durandal came out in 95, and then 96. So they were 1 year after another. So you were born a year after the third one came out. Which they are, I'm pretty sure they're open source. They're free. I'm sure you can, I mean, they're everywhere on the net. So if you guys are interested, you guys can absolutely, and I think that they're available on console as well. If I'm not mistaken, I think Game Pass actually has them. I could be wrong. So if you guys ever want to play through the original Marathon games and see what I'm talking about, they're out there and you don't have to pay for them. They're I think it's shareware, freeware, whatever. So you guys can boot those up and check them out and see what I'm talking about. You'll see the Spanker and you'll see the Magnum handgun with the scope on there. Those are two of the weapons you'll see in the games. Oh, that's good. That's good. So yeah, there you go. There's as much news as I can drum up for you guys today. Looks like the Marathon reboot is back in play. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. No clue. Let's see. Oh yeah, Assassin's Creed Mirage. If anybody's interested in that game, they've been teasing this new update, this new DLC that's going to be free to everybody. Called Valley of Memory. They just announced this. The name and the release date is going to be November 18th. So that, which is part of Game Pass. So you guys will have access to that. Anyway, that's on Game Pass. I'm not sure the levels. I'm not sure exactly what you lose, whatever at the levels just yet. But November 18th, free DLC dropping for Assassin's Creed Mirage if you still play those games. Politics, marijuana. Is marijuana legal in Michigan? Why would what the hell is that kind of a question? Black Ops 7 getting pushed back, blah, blah, blah. Arc Raiders, blah, blah, blah. I asked about this one earlier. Now we have some more people in here. Is anybody interested in Arc Raiders? Is anybody going to be playing this when it comes out? It's going to be, I think it's going to be $40 for the base version of the game, which I think a lot of these extraction shooters, if they're not free to play, they're going to be right around $40 starting out. I've been watching more and more video of this because I wasn't able to participate in the original play test, and then when they did the open play test a few months back, I wasn't able to be playing. I wasn't able to play that at the time. Some stuff was going on with my brother, and I wasn't even able to play the Battlefield 6. Whatever. There was some stuff going on back then. But anyhow, is anybody interested in this at all? The more I watch, the more I'm out. It's like it's spoiling it for me. The more I see, the more I'm not really interested in it. Number one, there's no scopes. I think that's weird. There's no scopes at all. Everything's iron sights in the game. Is that weird? Is that just me, or is that weird? I don't know. COD Next event apparently went bad. I think they need to stop having those. I really do. I think that that's not a. It's not. I know people are interested in COD, but to hold it in such a high regard, like it's almost like it's an award show for themselves. I think they need to stop doing those. AC Mirage is only on Game Pass Ultimate because it's part of Ubi Plus. Oh, is it? Okay. I thought Mirage came out earlier than that before, because I thought Mirage was dropped on us way like a month or so ago and wasn't part of Ubisoft Plus. I could be wrong. I could have swore I re-downloaded it though after the fact. I don't know, maybe not. Speaking of Game Pass, thoughts on the price increase? I mean, there's a lot of game there. There's a lot of, is the value there? Sure. Is the way that they got to that price point bullshit? Yes. They already increased it $5 over the beginning of the summer, right? $10 is a lot to ask. I think that's, especially when you're looking at percentages, everyone's touting the 50% increase. $10 is a lot of money when you've already raised it $5. So you're saying in 1 year's time, you've doubled the price of that. I think it's much. I think that they should have gone in, if they needed to make more money, they should have gone in $5 first. They should have gone in $5, test the market, see, and then maybe 6 months from now, go another $1 or $2. They could have eased people into this. But again, this is, I think, is why they announced they had lost so much money on Black Ops 6 last year, to justify the increase from a business standpoint, to let everyone know, guys, we lost so much money last year that we're going to have to recoup it a little bit by asking you to pay a little bit more money. But I don't know. I'm downgrading. So I have to re-up on the 21st, but the price effect doesn't take place until November 3rd. So I'm going to pay one more month of Ultimate at the $20 or whatever the price point is now, $20. And then that way I have access to a PUBG next month, so I can play on the 13th. We're gonna go back and we're gonna play a day of that, and then mop up any other games I want to play before then. And then I'm gonna downgrade to PC Game Pass, because I don't use my console for anything. The one game I play on there, which is Hitman, does not need the multiplayer aspect of things, so I'm good. So I'll be paying, I think $16, $17, I think $17 a month for PC Game Pass. That's where I'm going to land next month. So for the rest of you guys on console, I don't know. It's hard to write, because I mean, Honda was in here yesterday. He was asking me like, which level of Game Pass should I get? I don't know. It depends. I mean, there's a lot. If you look at all the games that are at the highest tier, there's a lot of game there. But if you've played all of those, if you played all those games before, then it's probably not worth it. I would just go with the platinum or whatever the fuck the next level down is, the $15 amount. I don't know. If you're only going to play free to play games, multiplayer games like Apex or Warzone, whatever, Fortnite, then the core is probably the best for you. So it just depends. You'd have to look at the games. You have to look at each tier, what games are in each tier, and then kind of like work it out from there. But that in itself is a full-time job. So I don't know. I think $25 is reasonable, but we're approaching the line where it isn't worth it unless you're playing every new AAA title. Yeah, I agree. I think 25, they should have stopped at $25. I think that's where it should have stopped for at least a year. Let everyone get used to that price point and then maybe raise it again depending on what's going on out there. But I don't know. They can't guarantee us all the AAA titles are going to come to Game Pass. So like the games that I'm looking forward to, they're not going to be on Game Pass. So it doesn't do me any good to have them. Are there any games coming out on Game Pass, day one titles that you guys are looking forward to? Let's go like the next year. I think the next one coming out right now is what? The Outer Worlds 2. That's probably worth it. That's that right there. That's a game that's on my list that I'd be interested in playing day one via Game Pass. But are there any other games that you're looking forward to, AAA titles that are coming out in the next year that are going to be on Game Pass? That's a question you got to ask yourself. There needs to be 70 day one releases to make it worthwhile if you play Fortnite. Yeah. Apparently the Fortnite premium membership is included in Ultimate, so if you already play oh yeah, I mean that's worth it there, because you get the battle pass, and then you get 1,000 V-Bucks, which I think is like $10. I think it's like a $10 value, whatever. Then you get that every month, right? So I think if you play Fortnite, then that's another reason it's worth it. But I don't know if it's worth it by itself. If you only play Fortnite, save the money. Get the core and save the money, because I mean, obviously you're not going to be using all of it. It's essentially the same price as having the $20 Game Pass Ultimate and Fortnite subscription, right? So if you play Fortnite, you can justify that, but I think they would have gone in a much better direction if they would have done Warzone, if they would have COD credits. Not that I care, but I think from a business standpoint, I think more people would be interested in paying that price if they were getting Call of Duty kickbacks and not Fortnite kickbacks. But I don't know. I don't mean, they're both free to play games. I don't know. Yeah, I think more kids play Fortnite, but they have better access to their parents' money than, the 18 to 35-year-old males that are playing Warzone that are, I mean, I'm not making this up. I see it all over the place, are mostly broke. I mean, I everywhere I go, I see all these poor Warzone players that can't afford to buy these skins, and I feel bad for them. But I don't know. I don't know. I only see what I see. I don't have the actual numbers in front of me, so I couldn't tell you. But still waiting for the BD. Oh, you missed it. You missed it. I've streamed Fortnite several times with my kids. There's some old schoolers in here that can remember that. There were days where I had all three of my kids that still live at home in games with me, and we're running squads. I did it several times. And they always got the win for me. I'm always usually running around in the back, watching the storm, making sure the stragglers were taken care of. And then the kids would go in there and just decimate everybody else. It was great. It worked out fantastic. They may go that way. They just added Gaijin kickbacks last month for War Thunder and Enlisted. Yeah, I see those a lot, but I mean, what I'm saying is that you gotta give them kickbacks for free to play games that are massive games. Apex Legends, Warzone, Fortnite. Those are your big, I think those are your top 3 free to play games that I think that you want to capture those people to get them in there. But again, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of Warzone players that, again, that's all they play. Same with Fortnite. There's people out there that only play Fortnite, so they're only paying for the core on console anyhow, so they can have their multiplayer. So I don't really know. A lot of things that we see nowadays where it comes to the numbers, it comes from Steam, the Steam numbers, because unfortunately consoles, Xbox and PlayStation, they don't share their numbers. So the only way that we can like gauge things is off of Steam numbers, which I know, and I see it all the time. People are like, that doesn't include console numbers, so those are way off. But unfortunately, it's the only numbers we have to go off of. So trends are based off of Steam numbers, which are released, and not based off of console numbers, which we don't see. So it's hard to say what's what unless they share their numbers with us. We have to just assume they know what the fuck they're doing, which I think a lot of us assume they don't. You know, you get a day of premium and 210 battle 75 boosters, 75% boosters for money and XP every month. That's cool. Video's always running around grabbing loot while everyone else does the heavy lifting. Pretty much. This is me playing Fortnite, okay, with my kids. All right, are you guys okay? I'm trying to check these weapons. Okay, what's a better weapon? Should I have this weapon or this weapon? What's a better shotgun? This one or this one? That's me the entire time we're playing Fortnite. What should I be running? What should I have in my inventory? What should I be doing? Because I don't play the game. I don't know. I know it's a BR, right? But what are the meta weapons? What should I be running? Should I have this shotgun? Should I have this? What health item should I have? Should I have this? Because I don't play the game. I don't know. So it's usually a lot of them like in between battles telling me what to carry with me. Oh no, go back and get that weapon. So then I have to go back and get so that it's usually just me confused and asking a lot of questions. That's how those streams go. And then the kids kicking ass and laughing at me when I've like, hey, I got my 2 kills and they're all, in double digits. That's the fun part for me. Kids kicking my ass. So maybe COD kickbacks on the horizon. I'd agree Enlisted isn't big, but War Thunder is pretty big and filled with wallet warriors. And that's the thing, is that it's hard because you have a bajillion players on this one game with $20 between them, right? And then you have these 20 players over here with $1 bajillion between them, and you want to capture all of them. But these guys got the money, but these are all the players. It's hard to know where to go. But, that's why they pay these guys the big bucks, right? That's why they all have multiple yachts and summer homes, and we scrape up $25 to buy a skin set. Some vehicles sell for like $70. Damn. What was that Counter-Strike like game that everyone was playing for a while? We had a guy in our group, in our community that was here from day one. PUBG. He's decided to part ways with us for reasons, but he had some disposable income. I know that it's a what the hell is disposable income? That doesn't make he was buying $70, $80 skins for this game. Valorant, that's what it is. He was buying $70, $80 skins for these games, and he's like, this is the game I play. It's fun. I like it. I'm going to spend the money that I want when I want. I get you. That's cool. But man, that's expensive stuff right there for a skin. $70, $80. Ooh, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. But I mean, that's Counter-Strike, Valorant. What was the other? There was another one that Shroud was behind that I think just died recently. There's a lot of Counter-Strike clones out there. But there's still a big market for those types of games. And my kid plays Counter-Strike on a daily basis, and he drops some money. He drops some money on those cases. But again, that's the only game he plays is free to play. I don't know. So, I mean, for me, Game Pass doesn't really have a place. PC Game Pass does. But as far as the console goes, I don't need anymore. And I found out that I've been pretty much just paying for stuff that I don't need the last few months anyhow. So I'm gonna ride it out one more month, and then we're going to PC Game Pass, and then that's where I'll stay until I'm just done. But It's kind of hard because I look at that every time I open it up, Game Pass, I see 20 years because I've been there since 6 months into day one. I was there within the first year. 22 years now, I want to say. So I almost don't want to lose that badge, you know. I want to hold on to that. That's, you know, my original Steam account is older than most of my children. I've been a Game Pass member longer than most of my children. It's just, you know, it's part of me. It's part of me at this point. It's hard to give that up. He ever hit some big ticket items, open cases? Yes. Yep. He's told me about a handful of them, a couple $100 each. I don't know what they go up to. I mean, I've heard some crazy numbers out there. Some skins go for thousands of dollars, but yes, he has. Actually, what the original Counter-Strike, when they first started doing the cases, I was kind of dabbling in the game a little bit. I did get a couple cases, and I ended up getting a handgun skin that was worth 80 or 90 bucks. And I told him when I handed him the account, because he oversees that account. If he ever loses it, I will murder him. But I told him that skin is to go nowhere. That stays on the account. And he's been pretty good about it so far. So let me go price check the cost of IS-7 or E100 on Gaijin Marketplace real quick. What is Gaijin? I've never heard of that. Is that a game or a server or something? I don't know what that is. But back to the Game Pass thing, I think it was smart for them to add a lot of the stuff. But again, they should have eased people into the price point, because instantly, just especially right now in the economy that we have right now, it's hard to ask for extra money for things when everybody is already paying double for a lot of stuff that's out there. You know, I mean, because you got to handle your IRL, you know, things first, and then if you have extra money left over, that's when you put it in your hobby, you know, which is, you know, gaming for us. So, and unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are down on their luck right now. So asking any additional money for anything is pretty tough. So I don't know. CD Key says Game Pass 3-month pack still for 60 buys you a little time. So here's the thing though, is I know people are stacking these, but when I used to stack them, when they changed what it was, they would adjust what you stacked. So if you had 3 months and then you had a Game Pass Ultimate or whatever, when you stacked it, they would go, okay, well, these 3 months equal a month and a half. So are they still doing that? Because I keep seeing people saying, oh, I just stacked all mine, I'm good for another 2 years, so it doesn't matter. But I thought they changed based on how much you paid, they're going to adjust things so it doesn't get you as much time. I don't know. I was actually looking into I think other companies need to do this whole Game Pass type deal. Like Microsoft, they are innovators when it comes to this. But I would like to see Steam do something along these lines. I think it'd be great to have a subscription service that gives you access to certain games every month without having to buy the games. I think Steam, if they haven't been looking into this, they need to look into something along these lines. They'd probably make a lot more money off of it too. If they released a Steam program similar to this, would you guys buy into that? For the PC folks here, would you guys do that? Would you do a subscription service through Steam to get access to newer stuff? It's hard though on Steam because you have millions of games. So it's hard to where would you draw the line on games that are included and not? And you know, maybe it would give you like a certain time frame to play certain games. Like you get 10 hours in this game, 10 hours in this game. I don't know. But I think there's a market for it. But again, PC gamers are typically different than console gamers. So I don't know. I mean, you'd have to run a test of some sort to see how many people would be interested in something like that. I'm only paid through December. E100 goes for roughly $2,000. IS-7 goes for around $1,700. Gaijin is the developer. Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, it's the developer War Thunder and publisher for Enlisted. I can't remember if they publish or dev cross out. I got you. But I haven't actually paid for mine. I always use reward points for them. I got you. What it came possibly. Kind of pissed because right now you can't redeem for Game Pass only Xbox gift cards. Oh, and that's only until the prices roll out so that people aren't spending all the points to stack. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But I don't mind losing the Game Pass. So it doesn't really affect me because I'm not on console. I am and I'm not. I play one game on console, and that doesn't need a multiplayer subscription. So PC Game Pass, though, as long as I continue to get the day one releases on PC, that's all I need. That's all I need. That's all I want. That's all I need. I just need access to the newest games on PC, and I'm good. So anyhow, there's that. I looked over and I see I see 007. I'm really excited for that game. I was daydreaming there for a minute of me actually playing the game. That and Hell Let Loose Vietnam are my those are my games I'm really excited about for next year. But again, like I was asking earlier, maybe you guys have thought about it. Is there any day one games coming out, AAA titles coming out in the next year that you're interested playing on Game Pass? Because that right there answers your question on if you should have Ultimate or not. If you've already played all the games that they've just released on Ubisoft Plus or whatever, which I've played 90% of them and beat 80% of them. Is there any game coming out that you're interested in playing on day one? And that right there will help you make your decision on whether it's worth paying $30 a month for access to this program. For me, there's nothing. I can't think of anything coming out in the next year that's going to be on Game Pass that I'm interested in playing, with the exception of Outer Worlds 2, which comes out at the end of the month. There's nothing. Okay, so Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is coming to Game Pass. Okay, so that rumor has been debunked. Outer Worlds coming out, and then Ninja Gaiden 2 or 4. Sorry, Ninja Gaiden. Those are the only ones that are showing on coming to Game Pass. Which if you guys remember, they used to show like 6 months out of what was actually coming out. So that right there scares me. They only have 3 games, 3 AAA titles coming out by the end of the year. That's it. So if you're not interested in Ninja Gaiden 4, The Outer Worlds 2, or Blop 7, it's probably not for you. That's kind of sad. That's very sad, actually. Can't wait for 007. I know, man. I'm with you, brother. I mean, we have to wait until the end of winter, basically. When they announced it was 6 months, now it's 5 months. Honestly, nah, I don't think Hell Let Loose will be on. No, it won't. Hell Let Loose will not be on a Game Pass. I'm almost 100% positive of that. Battlefield 6 is only on only the premium EA play, so that's not coming, right? That's not going to be because EA premium you have to pay for through EA itself, so that's not coming out. And the Outer Worlds didn't grab me, so not too hyped for 2. I liked the first one. I really did. I had a really good time with it. That I played on console. I tried to go back and play it on PC, but you know me always breaking everything. I broke the fucking game pretty bad. So maybe Ninja Gaiden. I tried playing the most recent one. I was never really into those games. I remember when Ninja Gaiden Black came out on the original Xbox. Like that was the game that was showcasing the power of the Xbox, and it was a pretty good game. I remember it just being brutal. Like people like if you could beat the game, you were a god, pretty much. I played a little bit of it. It was okay. It was just any other button masher for me, but it was all right. I mean, I remember it looking beautiful, just beautiful. But I'm not really into those games. I tried playing Sifu recently, or I think maybe when it came out on Game Pass. I don't remember, but I remember playing that, and it was kind of the same thing. Like, I don't like quick time events, and that's what it felt like. That whole game felt like just one big quick time event to me. So yeah, and it's just memorizing patterns. It's a puzzle game, really. It's a puzzle game disguised as a kung fu game. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Sifu is tough. It is. It is. I'm a glutton for punishment, so I enjoy getting curb stomped to the teeth. There you go. So you probably like those Dark Souls games, the roguelite or roguelike games. I don't really care for any of that. I'm an FPS boy through and through, but I do like puzzle games. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite games, one of my favorite non-FPS shoot 'em in the face games is called the Golden Idol series. There's the Curse of the Golden Idol, and then the most recent is the Rise of the Golden Idol. They dropped for the season pass holders. They dropped a surprise DLC 2 weeks ago. I want to say I have not had a chance to play it just yet, but I'm super excited about that. I love puzzle games. I love things that where you got to really use your head to figure shit out. There's a game called Agatha Christie's Death on the Nile. That is, it's out now or it's coming out soon. I really want to play this game. Not coming to Game Pass, of course. So it seems like all the games that I see, whether it be indie games or AAA titles, anything that I'm interested in, aren't part of Game Pass. So again, why do I have it? And for less than the cost of Game Pass for 1 month, I was able to buy Ghost Recon Breakpoint Ultimate Edition, which was $18. $18. So I didn't really need that Ultimate Game Pass to play the game because that was just the core game anyhow. I'm able to play when I want, anytime I want, the ultimate version of the game, and it costs less than Game Pass Ultimate. So again, it's one of those things like, is it worth it to you to pay that money every month when most of the games that they're putting out there, the new stack of titles, you can all be had for like under $7 during a sale. So I don't know. For me, it's not worth it. But again, everyone's situation is different. Sekiro, Souls games and such are always great. Meanwhile, I'm still waiting for Stalker 2 to hit a point where I feel it's worth it to play. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I've been playing Stalker 2 since the day it came out, and it has undergone some dramatic transformations, but it's still not like I can't. Whenever I fire up the game, I feel like it's more of a chore than it is fun. I'm with you, man. There's just something about the game that just doesn't give me the vibes. So whenever I see there's a new, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll fire it up again. And I'm like, but there's this game to play right now. But I do like Stalker. I do like some Stalker, man. 32 games listed on the day one page for Game Pass, and Fable and Gears are only 2 that caught my. Yeah, but see that, but there's no dates for those games. Those are all down the road, right? Now, I've heard that Gears of War is coming out possibly next summer. Don't know. Fable, they won't even tease us with a time. State of Decay 3. So these are all games that are coming out eventually, but we don't know if they're in the next year or they could be 2 years off, 3 years off. So it's tough. Because, I mean, I think there's a lot of people out there that wouldn't mind just getting rid of it. And then when these games come out, maybe just getting it for a month. Because $30 is a lot cheaper than $70 or $80, right? And I think the refund policy, I haven't had I don't think I've ever, maybe I have. I have refunded games in the past on console, but I think refunding games via Steam is a lot easier than trying to refund a game on a console. So do you bite the bullet and buy the $70 game knowing that you probably can't return it if it sucks? Or do you get the Game Pass for $30 and you play the game, and if you like it, maybe buy it down the road, or you just play it and, done. I've done that for a couple of games. Assassin's Creed Mirage. I bought the Ubisoft Plus for that month only just to play through the game. And I did. I think it was $17 and I played through the whole game, beat it in that 1 month. And it was worth it to me. Instead of paying $80 for the full game, I just basically rented it from them for a month. It was awesome. So that worked out, but it doesn't always work out like that. Such a letdown for Game Pass, especially when you consider how many delays it had regardless of circumstances. I won't play it until A-Life 2.0 is fully up and functioning as intended. Yes, I agree. I agree. The A-Life that's what the whole thing was built on, right? So if that doesn't work, that's your core game. If your core game doesn't work, I'm not interested in playing the shell. State 3 and Gears E-Day are of interest, but the long wait time for announcements to release is unbearable. I know. I just those games there, I just kind of put out of my mind. I just try not to think of them because without a release date or even a fucking window, I'm just not going to get my hopes up. You know, I think a lot of people did that with GTA 6. Now we have a release date, but it was more bad news than good news when they were like, all right, guys, we're going to release this May of next year. It's only coming to consoles and it's only going to be 30 frames. So like, woohoo, woohoo. Like we waited 13 years, 14 years, something like that, 13, 14 years to be told that it's going to be only on console and only 30 frames. You know, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Is anybody here interested in GTA 6? I mean, when they announce it for PC and they release it on PC, I'm sure I'll buy it. I'm sure I'm going to buy it. I bought all the other ones. So this last iteration, I bought it on multiple platforms. I mean, I probably paid for the game 6 times since 2013. So I don't, you know, I'm not getting my hopes up and I really don't care. But when the game fully comes out on PC, then I'll probably buy it. And even then I might wait for a sale. I don't know. At least Gears was only a year or so. Yeah, that's true. They announced it, what was it, last summer during one of their Xbox convention things that they did in the early summer. And I was like, whoa, you know, thinking that it was going to come out later that year or even this summer. And then they waited a full year to tell us, no. Sorry, guys, maybe next year. So we got the Gears of War remastered this summer. Which it's still a good time, but I mean, I played at this point. I played through that game 7 or 8 times. I want something new, man. I wanted something new. Not really, yeah, but I'm not buying a console to play. No, hell no. No, man. Why? No, hell no. I believe you get your ass kicked for saying something like that. No, no. At 30 frames. I know there's a lot of people that are going, oh, 30 frames, that's perfect, man. That's all you really need. It's not a Twitch shooter. It's not but wait until the game comes out. Wait until the game comes out and people are buying it on their consoles and playing on their consoles. And it's not a locked 30 frames and it's dipping down into the 20s during, you know, heavy combat. You're going to see a lot of people pissed and changing their tune very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. I think not releasing it side by side with the PC version of the game is stupid. But from a business standpoint, it's great because you're going to get all those day one guys that don't give a shit. They just want the game. Boom, millions of dollars. And then they'll get the trickle down players from all the people that are saying this is the greatest game ever made for the next few months. And then when they've beaten that cow to death, then they turn around and then they'll release the PC version at the same premium price, maybe even higher. We'll see. And then get all those people to come back to the PC version of the game. See, that way you get as much money from everybody as you can. Because I guarantee there's going to be a large portion of the people that are buying it on console day one that are going to rebuy it on PC to play it properly down the road. So, I don't know. I mean, 30 frames was great 15, 20 years ago. 30 frames was the norm. That was the fucking norm. I mean, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, they rendered all their games rendered at 720p at 30 frames roughly. Some were 60, but mostly it was 720p at 30 frames. That was the standard back then. It's not the standard now. games all have to render at 1080p 60 frames. I know they're pushing that, and it's, you know, it's going up to 1440p on some games, but like it's a different time now. We have to get with the program, get with the times. So I don't know. I think the next consoles will be able to do like a 1440p, a native resolution standard at 60 to 120 frames. I'd love to see that. I know a lot of people on console have been asking for 120 FPS, which there are some games that do hit that, but not a lot. But it'd be nice if 1440p, 120 FPS was the standard for the next generation consoles that we'll see in a few years. We'll see. By the time it drops, you'll be able to emulate a Series X or next gen console. Right. That's probably true. That's probably true. 30 frames is gross. I agree. At this day and age, yeah. No. Hell no. Hell no. I don't want to see my point and click adventure games. They better be at 60 frames. You know? I've been emulating PS2 Classic recently. It's awesome. Hell yeah, man. You can crank them textures up. You can get those games to render at 4K. Shit. I mean, I've been able to do it 8K and make them games like pop. They look amazing when you start cranking that shit up. Woo! 60 FPS is the standard. It is, but there are still games out there that render that play at 30 frames. Also, apparently Steam is down. Oh no! 120 FPS is nice for smoothing, but it's not necessary. It's not unless you play like competitive shooters. Then, especially on a console, you definitely want to see a $120. You're going to notice, most people are going to notice the difference between 60 and 120. There's a small amount of people that notice anything above 120. So I'd rather have 1440p at 60 frames, so it's not as demanding on the optimization on the dev side. Some studios already struggle to run 1080 and 60. I'd hate to see them have to confirm. Yeah, I agree. Especially on the hardware that they're given to work on, you know. Because you got to remember, these consoles, current gen consoles are now I mean, within 30 days, they are now 5 years old, which doesn't sound that old, but when it comes to technology, that's ancient. That's a long. I saw a thing the other day. Somebody said on a Reddit page of all places that the Xbox One X, a console that is now 8 years old, last gen console, is the best value in gaming right now. Yeah, someone said that, and I'm thinking, if you get the console for $100, sure. But what games are you playing? I think this is probably the last year that Call of Duty is going to allow last gen consoles to run. Fortnite, does Fortnite still run on previous gen? Apex Legends, does that still run on? I mean, PUBG's about to kick them to the curb. 5 years too late, I think. But a 1X? A 1X? I have a 1X still in my house that I actually put an SSD in. And I mean, going from an HDD to an SSD internal drive is a huge difference, but it's still last gen technology. I don't know. I that one kind of confused the shit out of me, but I'd rather have 1440p so it's demanding. 120 would be nice, but 60 is definitely the standard. Steam's working for that, surprising. Down detector is going crazy. My buddy Pants in Canada can't even sign in. Hey, where's Pants? Where the fuck's Pants been? I haven't seen him in forever, man. Forever. Ever since I left PUBG, man, that guy won't come around here no more. Maybe it's a Canadian thing. They didn't pay their tariffs on time. They didn't pay their tariffs. They don't get Steam up there anymore. Maybe the 1X is more about price points versus hardware capability. That's the only thing I can think of that what that person was talking about. because like number one, they don't sell the console anymore, so you have to buy it secondhand. So if you can buy the console for $100 and play some of these free to play games, then I kind of get what they're saying. But if you want to play current gen games for cheap, I still think the Series S is the and I don't recommend that to anybody, but I still think that is the way to go. Because I mean, you can get Series S's for secondhand pretty cheap, like 200. I've seen them for $200. That's pretty fucking cheap. So I don't know. I mean, if you want to play current gen games, I wouldn't recommend a 1X to somebody unless it was like, hey, did you miss a lot of games from last generation of consoles? Great, I have a great price point for you. It's called the 1X. That I agree with 100%. But 5 years in current gen, you're recommending a 1X to somebody? That's kind of weird. Maybe this guy was trying to sell his. Maybe that's what it was. You know, the best price point right now, the best way, the best budget gaming way to play games is the 1X. By the way, I have one for sale on the marketplace here. Maybe that's what he was after. I don't know. But boy, did I see a lot of thumbs down with that comment. I think that's why it was pushed to the top. And nah, he's hardly on Twitch anymore since he stopped streaming really. I'll tell him to stop by sometime. You should. Get your ass in here, brother. Can't believe they upped the price on current gen consoles while the next gen is on the horizon after this long. I think what they're doing, I mean, I know the tariffs are a lot of it. Tariffs are a huge part of it, which isn't it's not their fault. The price increase for Game Pass, that can't be blamed on anything other than either greed or, you know, they're in trouble financially. And if they lost $380 billion or whatever it was, $380 million on Black Ops 6 last year, I think that's where it's stemming from. They made a bad decision. They need to recoup their losses, and that it's going to come out of your pocket. That's how everything works. That's just how you know, we always pay for other people's mistakes. That's what happens. But I think what they're doing is they're getting people used to this price point, because if what they say about the next generation console being closer to a PC, that $500 price point is not going to be a thing. That'll be your budget console. I think the next console is probably going to be closer to $800. Especially if it's going to have some type of proprietary, you know, mid console generation. You can switch this part out or you can switch that part out. I don't think the $500 price point is going to be relevant anymore. I think it's going to be $800, which is a safe. It's under $1,000. It's higher than $500. So they can try to make some of their money back, because I mean, historically they usually lose money on the consoles and they make money on the software. Is how it usually works. So I don't know. I love talking the consoles with people because it's all, you know, it's all speculation at this point. But with the little bit of information, the tidbits of information we see coming out of both camps, PlayStation and Xbox, it sounds like that's what they're going for. They're looking for something that's going to be a PC, but not be a PC. So with the PS5 Pro being, what was it, $700, $800? I think it's $800, something like that, right? I think they wanted to see if there was a market for that, to see if they could push that down the road. Because it's all going to depend on what is in these machines. It'll have AMD chipset from one, yes, which Xbox has had a AMD APU since last gen, I do believe. Before that, they were heavy on NVIDIA. Intel and NVIDIA were their go-tos, but yeah, which is smart. I mean, it's smart to, I mean, AMD is where it's at gaming wise. AMD is the better choice. As far as GPUs, I would say that Intel has the edge with their technology, which consoles are going to fucking need to utilize. DLSS is, I mean, that should be something that they, you know. But I think AMD is coming up in the world with their own type of DLSS that they can utilize. So we'll see how things go. But I'm an AMD guy. I'm an AMD CPU guy all day long, and I have been for almost 20 years now. 15. We'll say 15 years. I think gaming is going to shift to the upper middle to high class luxury. Yes, you know what? Well, that's the thing. That's with the price, the way things are going, that's probably what's going to end up happening. But the rest of people aren't going to be really left behind because they have access to these things via cloud gaming. So you may not be able to afford the next generation console, but you could still pay for Game Pass and stream it to your TV or get like the Fire Stick or, you know, a Roku or something, and you'll be able to utilize that to stream. And I think that's why what Xbox is doing right now is because they know on the horizon there's going to be a lot of people that don't want the newest console, but they still want to do some gaming of some sort. So, I mean, you can stream Xbox games to your phone. So, I think consoles next generation are going to be out of reach for a lot of people, but they're going to have options. And then eventually consoles are just going to go away, and it's just going to be PCs and cloud gaming. This will probably be the last generation of consoles that you see. This next generation coming up, and then that'll be it. Future looks dim. I don't know. I mean, technology is advancing at such a fast rate right now. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they're trying to get the VR thing straight, but they've been working on VR for a long time. I mean, this goes back to the Virtual Boy back in the 90s, 30 years ago. They've been toying with this technology. It's getting better, and I think we're going to probably go down that route in the next 10, definitely 20 years. I don't think it'll be a lot of this anymore. I think it'll be a lot of these headsets and not necessarily telekinesis, but they've been toying with these things with where brain activity does certain things. Like they've been able to get people that have lost an arm. They put this robotic arm on them, and then they have this headset where it reads their brain signals and it tells, so they can basically say, move my finger, and it moves their finger. So this type of technology is coming around. So the days of the Neanderthals holding these clunky things in their hands to manipulate something on a screen, it's going to go away. AI is going to be playing video games for you. You won't have time, guys. You'll have 3 jobs that you have to work, and AI will play the video games for you at home. Okay? They'll rack up they'll build your character for you. So I wholeheartedly believe that the next generation of console will be the last. I think these companies are losing too much money in this market, and I think that the software is where the money is. The end result is the game you're playing, not what you're playing it on. So, tech's fine. Corporate greed is the problem. I agree. And it's only getting worse as the time goes on. And corporations pretty much run this country anymore. So it's going to get worse before it gets any better, guys. It is what it is. Last console's a sad thought. It is. But I mean, it's just a moment in time. Video games have been around for 45 years, we'll say, roughly 45 years, depending how far back you want to go to and exactly what you're looking for in video games. Video games have been around for about 45 years. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm okay with consoles dying. I'm okay with that. We have to move into the future. So getting rid of things that are holding us back, I think, is a good thing. Especially if you have cloud gaming, because then you don't need, again, it's a win-win for everybody. As long as you have a good internet bandwidth, you don't really need a console, and then that's not holding anybody back. The year is 2133. The world is a standstill as all the population is playing Skyrim Super Mega Sergeant of Master, Sergeant Extreme, Sergeant Anniversary Edition, and virtual reality with a Neuralink implant. It's funny you think humans will still be on this planet in 2133. That right there is that's the whole science fiction part of that whole comment, is that humans will still be a thing on this planet in 2133. Now I feel old and I'm only 28. I mean, when I'm explaining a video game that I was playing when I was 13, 14 years old, only to find out that one of you in here says that they were born at the tail end of that series of games, that makes me feel old. You know what else makes me feel old? My oldest kid at the end of the month, on the 29th of this month, my oldest child will be 26 years old. I'll say that again for the people in the back that can't hear too well back there. At the end of this month, my eldest child will be 26 years old. Good night. We'll see you later. Yeah. I feel old. I feel old now. Yeah, it'll be 2045 when this happens. I won't be around to see it. But I think humans' days are numbered on this planet. I have this conversation with my wife all the time. where she's an optimist and I'm a cynic. It's just natural evolution. It's just natural evolution. With AI, we are going to create, just like in the movies, we are going to create our predecessors, right? Predecessors before predates predecessors. So we're going to create, we're going to create the next generation via AI, and then we're probably going to end up dying off because we're killing the planet. But either way, it's not that science fiction when you really think about it. In the year 25, man is still alive. What makes me feel old is that I can tell when a storm is coming based on my knee and lower back. I think we have at least another 6 years before immensely stupendous fuckery. Oh, the stage is being set right now, my friend. Yes, I agree. And I don't think that we're going to wipe each other out with war necessarily. I know that a lot of people immediately go to that, nuclear fallout and, we're going to kill ourselves. I think that I don't think you guys really want to know what I think, but I think we're doing it to ourselves. We are going to create the next generation of whatever the fuck it is that takes over, and we are going to basically eliminate ourselves. I mean, this has happened all throughout the Earth's history. Dinosaurs were killed off. Whatever came before that, I'm sure there was something, died off. Neanderthals and other humanoids died off, and we are what we are now. But what's going to happen 100 years down the road, especially with technology? Look how much the world has changed in just the last 150 years. With the invention of electricity, we've leaps and bounds over previous centuries, but we're moving at a very, very fast fucking rate. Like, time stood still for centuries before us, right? And now we're moving so fast. We're advancing so fucking fast that there's no end in sight. People have been hollering about the end of times a while. It's just a shame I missed the rapture last week. Yeah, I mean, but that's throughout all religion, any and all religion, there's always a date of some sort that everyone's always, today's the date. This is the date. This is the date. When I was a kid in the 90s, there were three time periods that we were supposed to go see Jesus. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Bob Dylan's Times Are Changing plays in the background as all Modern Warfare 2 and Halo 3 lobbies play like a movie through your mind. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to stay on the subject for too long, because then it'll end up being, oh my God, Beatdown's a conspiracy theorist. No, I just have my thoughts. Really. I just have my thoughts. And I hope to God they're wrong. I really do, because I want my children and their children and their children to all have, an earth to live on. But I told my wife we need to go back and watch WALL-E. You guys remember the Disney WALL-E movie? I said, because every year we get closer and closer to what WALL-E was all about. WALL-E, even though it was a Disney movie, was a cautionary tale of what could be. and we're not listening. We're not listening, man. Apparently, we're evolving the ability to communicate telepathically based on studies of brain activity during a test to guess a hidden number held by another person. Yeah, we are. And with technology and with science, we are going to create something bigger than us. AI. I mean, AI is going to take over at some point, right? We're all going to be in the Matrix eventually. The Matrix was a historical account of what happened. It's true. Look at the Wachowski sisters. They're from the future. Or the past. Doesn't matter. And we're also evolving the muscles to control poison glands, but that's likely a leftover feature from hunter-gatherer days. I agree. There's a lot of things in our body that are left over from things that, we had to utilize, thousands of years ago. But all right. I'm gonna end this thing. I think this is a good place to end the stream. I gotta go tear this computer apart. I gotta figure out what's going on with it. It's driving me nuts. I can't have things that are broken in my house. That's why I gotta get rid of the dog too. I'm kidding. So over there going, what? Huh? What? Me? I didn't do nothing. So, thank you everyone for being here. I appreciate you. I know we had technical difficulties today, and I know it might have been hard to stay here the whole time and listen to me rant and rave about fucking crazy shit. But I appreciate every one of you guys. Manic, thank you for the sub bomb that you dropped earlier. A lot of you guys that were here got some subs out of that. So, if you haven't already, thank you. Thanks, Sub Nuke. I will thank you for them since they haven't done it. Some of you guys did. I know you did. But if I can get this up and running tonight, tomorrow, based on the information I have, if Battlefield 6 comes out tomorrow, maybe I'll weasel my way into streaming that. I don't know. But Reaper Actual is supposed to come out tomorrow as well. And if not, I could fall back on Breakpoint, which we're not going to be able to play today. So there's that. So we have games coming. There are things to do, and I will be streaming again. I'm not giving up, guys. I'm going to keep going. So everyone have a fantastic day. Enjoy the weather if you have a nice weather by you. We do not. I'll be stuck inside all day. But and I'll see you guys in the morning. So again, have a great day. Peace out, everyone.